still does it right now. I know he's kind of shifting, but he called Trump a Nazi, Hitler, a traitor, an idiot, criminal, threat to democracy. What are they going to meet about? He also said he belongs in prison. He made fun of his family. He called people that support him stupid.
In this video, Patrick Bet-David and his co-host react to Bill Maher's upcoming meeting with Donald Trump at the White House. Patrick Bet-David plays a clip from Bill Maher's Club Random podcast where he talks to Andrew Schultz about his visit. With that, let's watch Patrick Bet-David and the crew at the PBD Podcast call out the inept Democrats.
Bill Maher is now apparently going to the White House to visit Trump. And he's getting a lot of slack for it. When he was on a podcast, Kid Rock was there a couple of weeks ago and said, I want you to come meet Trump. And I'm going to take you to the White House, and we're going to go there. And then Kid Rock said a Trump supporter appeared on Real Time. Maher predicted backlash from left saying, and there will be lots of people on the left who will be like, how dare you talk to this man? It's like, F you. I'm not playing this game that you mean girls play. Oh, you know that. You can't. Is this the clip, Rob? Of what he says? Okay, play that clip, Rob. It's better off I'm saying.
Was here a couple of weeks ago, and he said, I want you to meet Trump. He said, I'm going to take you to the White House. So now we're going to do that.
I think that's
and like
a good
there will be
conversation.
lots of people on the left who will be like, how dare you talk to this man? It's like, fuck you. You know, I'm not playing this game with that you mean girls play.
Schultz.
Yes.
Where like, oh, you know what? You can't sit at my lunch table because I'm just not talking to you. Not talking to you, you lost the election. Who the fuck do you think you have to talk to? You know, it's one thing if you win it.
Yeah.
It's another thing if you lose it.
You gotta start
kinda
talking to people.
Have to talk to. And I see Gavin Newsom is doing this now. He's changed his tune. He's got a podcast, and the first guest was Charlie Kirk.
I thought that was,
you know,
brilliant. You
and
have
he
to
mentioned me. He said, like, I'm noticing what Bill does. Talks to both sides. Like, is left leaning, but not afraid to criticize the people on his team. Like, we got to get more of this going.
They always
This has to become the center. This has to become a real center. Right now, it's like it's a few lonely islands that need to like become a bigger fucking sandbar.
Yeah. No, for real. You're right. Like, it needs to be normalized.
Adam.
Well, Bill Maher is absolutely right. I mean, I don't care what he says, no matter what he does, he's always, always, always going to be left of center. His city could burn down. They can chop off all the dicks in California. He's still going to be like, I'm still with Gavin. He doesn't care. But he's at least willing to have the conversation. Like, he'll go to the edge of the line. He'll look over on the other side. Be like, not yet. How old is Bill Maher, by the way? He's got to be 70. No? So what you have to give him credit for is that he's at least willing. 69, dude. He's about to be 70 next year. He's at least willing to have that conversation. I mean, you had a great conversation with him on the podcast. And by conversation, I mean he spoke to you for about 2 hours. And you said,
Vinny,
you
your
asked him a
thoughts
couple
on this?
questions.
Okay, well, listen, this is my opinion. You guys are going to like it because I know where, you guys, the dialogue is good. I know people want to hear it. But here's the thing.
I'll keep it short before Vinny goes. This is a long clip. Say what you will about Bill Maher. I'll never agree with him politically. And some people probably won't even like that I give him credit for this. But the dude does talk to both sides, and he can be friends with people he disagrees with strongly politically. I think we should all aspire to that. And I'm not saying aspire to be like Bill Maher. Plenty of character flaws. But the only way we're going to cut down on any of the divisiveness is to have real good faith conversations with the other side. Now, the left is very hard to talk to because they get emotional and get off track, and they love their anecdotes instead of actual data and facts. So I understand it's not easy, but ideally, we'd all be doing more of this. And for as much as he's trashed Trump, and I think Vinny's going to go in on him right now, I think it shows a lot of grace on Trump's part to say, yeah, this guy's trashed me forever, but I'll talk to him. So we all know that Donald Trump has a huge ego, probably narcissistic, but being willing to meet with someone who has insulted you, your family, for years aren't the actions of someone with a huge ego or a narcissist or a dictator. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Why Bill Maher still does it right now. I know he's kind of shifting, but he called Trump a Nazi, Hitler, a traitor, an idiot, criminal, threat to democracy. What are they going to meet about? He also said he belongs in prison. He made fun of his family. He called people that support him stupid. And in 2016, he wrote a whole did a special called "Whiny Little Bitch" to trash Trump, and let's not forget he offered $5 million. Do you remember this? To charity if Trump could prove his mother, his dead mother, didn't have sex with an orangutan. Okay, let's just put that out there. Okay, that's not criticism. That's freaking hate. Okay, and what to me, it's what is that going to help Trump? Seeing Bill Maher in the White House is going to do what? I'm just curious. He's not going for re-election. He's not. To me, all it does is hurt the opposite side, because let's be real. People like Gavin Newsom. Okay, he's not a political opponent. He's the enemy. Okay, if he gets into the power, what do you guys think he's going to do? All this podcasting and all this thing, to me, it's making them look like, yeah, the other side is good, because it's not about us. The Republicans are going to vote for him. Their side is going to go, you know what? Gavin seems, hold on.
Let me ask you a question.
You can, but let me finish. We're making him seem like he's a good person because he's speaking in his on a podcast. Adam, do not let these people fool you. Once they get into power, that guy is a full of shit snake. Okay, you don't, this is war. You don't hand the enemy the microphone. You don't give them a platform. You don't give them the spotlight. You don't make them look good, because once they go in, don't get it twisted, bro. This is positive and negative. It's good and evil. Gavin Newsom, you want to make him look good for what? Look at what he does to the state. Look at California, okay? We dodged a bullet with Kamala. I'm not a fan of it. They're the enemy, bro. Why make them look good?
Let me ask you this
They
question.
would destroy the country if they had the chance to do it. And it almost happened with Kamala.
So there's a lot of what you just said that I agree with, but you keep calling the Democrats the enemy.
They
the
are.
enemy.
They
the
are.
enemy.
They really are.
I don't know.
Adam.
Okay.
They really are.
Just because
I believe it.
They're
In my heart
American.
of
They're Americans.
You can still be evil and be an American.
Okay. Well, this is where you lose a little bit of credibility, in my estimation.
Okay, go ahead.
I think you should find a different word than enemy. These are Americans. They're elected in America.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I agree with Gavin Newsom? No. Do I think he's a snake oil salesman? Yes. Do I think that he would be disaster for America? Yes. But calling someone an enemy, like the Ayatollahs in Iran that are shouting death to America, are an enemy. North Korea that threatens us with missiles, enemy, right? China, competitor. I don't even know if they're an enemy per se, maybe. But to call fellow Americans an enemy, I don't think is doing you any justice.
Adam.
Tom.
You can say that, but you got to look at both sides, because it's happening on both
Would
sides.
you have Gavin
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
Newsom
When
on the
Kathy
podcast?
Griffin holds up a severed head and said he's better off dead, what the hell is that?
I'm not that.
When
Kathy,
you've got
Kathy Griffin
them
is a
referring to
used-up
us-
comedian. I'm not worried about her. I'm talking about
No. Let's go to
congressmen.
Hillary
I'm
Clinton
talking about
and the
governors.
deplorables. And then let's go.
I don't
if there's
condone that
voter
either.
suppression, it should be on the other side. There's been plenty said about that the conservatives are the enemies, that the conservatives are backwater, that the conservatives shouldn't even be voting. There's a lot of it that goes on backside.
fully agree
so
that
you
that is a
can't just
horrible
attack
rhetoric.
one side on Vinny and say, oh, Vinny, be careful about saying enemy. Where did this start?
Tom, I agree with you. You got your panties in a bunch.
No, he's
I don't like
passionate.
anybody.
Stop it. Don't
Listen,
don't
ladies,
throw the pithy little thing, panties
ladies,
in a butt,
ladies,
like you're
ladies,
that
calm
is
down.
that is so
I just-
sexist and beneath even you, dude.
So I wish that even the Republican sorry, Tom, PBD, Tom, I know you're getting a little worked up. It's okay, I like it. This is when Tom shows his strength. I like it, respect. But there was a congressman who was speaking. Oh, it was fucking Chuck Schumer. My apologies. He called the Trump administration the enemy, and I'm watching that and I go, that is disgusting. It's disgusting. My point is this.
Okay, 'cause I wanna
We
say
got to
my
stop
point.
calling each other the enemy because you disagree with the other side. Would you sit down with Gavin Newsom if you wanted to come on the podcast?
Absolutely not. I
You
don't
would
want
not
to give him. Let me finish. You asked me a question. Let me finish.
So
absolutely.
Charlie Cookwood.
I say no.
PBD,
I say
would
no.
you sit down with Gavin Newsom?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And-
So
Pat-
you're
Pat
being
would-
an
I would.
emotional
No, I'm
little
not. Because
girl
Adam,
right now, Vinny.
Well, you ready for this? When I
Tom,
joined the
since-
let
Tom,
me
since
finish.
you got your panties in a bunch,
Let me-
would you sit down with Gavin Newsom?
There you go again, dude.
Can I finish, Adam?
Tom, would you sit down with Gavin Newsom?
Yes, I would.
Okay, tell me
I would
why.
sit down with Gavin Newsom.
Tell me
I think
why.
he'd be pretty spirited, and I'd really challenge him. But would I sit down with him in America, where everybody's got free speech, and attempt to have a dialogue?
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
Great.
Can I
agree
say
with
my
you.
thing, Pat,
Yeah,
really
go
fast?
for it. And then
Adam,
we'll transition.
Okay,
Go for it.
when I joined the military, just like him, we did an oath, and it said I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign
and
domestic.
domestic.
Well, guess
Yes.
what, Adam? When these pieces of you know what go after the president. They try to take his money. They try to destroy him. They open up the border and they do all the shit that they did. They are the enemy of the people. I don't care what you want to say, and it might hurt your feelings. I don't give a shit.
So when Chuck Schumer
is one of them. They want to destroy the country.
So when he calls people within the Trump administration, RFK, Pete Hegseth,
give me the example of how. Yeah, he's full of shit.
When he calls them the enemy,
yeah.
Do you think he's wrong in doing that?
No, Adam, he could say whatever he wants. Show me the receipts. We have the receipts of what the hell the Democrats have been doing for ages. Adam,
so only you're right.
No,
wrong.
I did not say. I just said, no, you're putting words in my mouth. Adam, there's evil Republicans. There's evil Democrats.
Boy, Adam is really being a shit stirrer, huh? So I just said that we all need to talk and try to find common ground. And that's exactly what they're arguing about right now. So I'll play devil's advocate. Everything derogatory that Vinny said about Gavin Newsom is correct. I don't think Bill Maher is dangerous to meet with. But here's the devil's advocate part. If Bill Maher's visit can in some way contribute 1% to the possibility that Gavin Newsom is elected, then I agree it's completely not worth the meeting. That is my nightmare. Gavin Newsom running this country. I think the man is pure evil. I will say this, though. I don't think the vast majority of Democrat voters are enemies. But I do think the vast majority of the politicians, the news media, and the leadership of the Democrat Party are enemies. But I'd never put that on the majority of Democrat voters. I think they're crazy. I can't relate at all to why they would vote for this mess of a party, but they're not the enemy. And all the nastiness that goes back and forth, both sides engage in it. But I really do believe that the left contributed more to how nasty politics has gotten. I think it's nastier than it's ever been. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Democrats, but what the Democratic Party did for this past 4 years, if you can't tell me that that was evil, with all the shit that they're doing, with letting in all the kids going missing, open border, drugs poisoning Americans, going after the president, and then the guy gets shot in the head because you're calling him fucking Hitler. Yeah, they're the enemy.
Well,
they're the enemy, period. End of story.
What I'm saying is we need to stop calling fellow Americans the enemy.
I'm not, Adam.
On both
I'm not.
sides.
Then stop acting like an enemy, and I won't call you the enemy.
Okay, well, then,
if a dog is acting like a dog, I'm like, that's the dog.
Vinny, I love you. Just because you're yelling loud doesn't
I'm
mean
not
you're
yelling.
right.
You're not making any point.
Well,
you're not making a point.
No, I'm going to give you the point right now, my friend.
Go ahead, buddy.
Charlie Kirk sat down with Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
Your boss, your hero, your idol, PBD said he would sit down with Gavin Newsom.
And I wouldn't.
Tell him on your.
I'm my own man.
So maybe you're being a little emotional.
No, I'm not, Adam, because
angry.
What is the podcast? Not Pat. I'm talking about Gavin Newsom's podcast is trying to make him look good. He's not good. He's a piece of shit.
Okay, so let's go through this. Or my opinion on this here, and this is why this works. We went to a fight this weekend. We were with John Jones and a few Syrian brothers. They had this 30 bucks, and it was a very good experience. And guys come up and say, "You guys actually get along?" And, we actually get along. Man, it seems like you guys, some of you hate. Nope, we actually get along. But let me tell you this about this thing here. Go and think about it from the lens of Trump. Okay, Bill Maher goes to the White House to see Trump. You know who did that in 2017, 2018? Steve Harvey. Remember when Steve Harvey went to the White House? And everybody was asking him, I cannot believe you went to the White House and da-da-da-da-da. I got an invitation from the president, so I'm going to the White House. Okay, Steve Harvey. Tim Cook, hey, how could you talk to President Trump and da-da-da-da-da? Well, he picks up my calls when I call him. Really? That's Steve Harvey right there. When he met with and by the way, this is a while back when they met. What year is this when they met? 2017, 18, I don't know when it was.
January of 2017.
Still got that
That's January 2017. You know what that is? That is that just happened.
Minutes after inauguration.
Minutes after, yeah.
First inning.
So he's there. By the way, that was probably the most controversial time to go to the White House. Harvey went. Bill Maher goes to the White House. Guess who wins if Bill Maher goes to the White House? Bill Maher or Trump?
Trump wins 100%.
Trump wins 100% because he's saying, these guys, you're coming to me.
Yes.
You're coming to my territory. You're coming to see me. You're coming to look at me. And you know how Trump is wired? Trump is wired, in my opinion, Trump is wired in a way that I believe he believes he can woo you and he can persuade you and he can challenge you and he can call you out on your BS and he can get you to say, I kind of like this guy, okay? I kind of like that. I hate to say it, but I kind of like this guy. And then they leave and they do whatever they want to do. Bill is at a point right now that he's about to do something he never thought he would do. But here's the kick.
Patrick Bet-David makes a great point. I feel like most people that have met with Trump that have despised him, hated his guts, but they give him a chance and meet with him, they might not outright say, which some have, but they might not outright say, wow, I actually like him now. He was a good guy. But you will notice a shift in their tone. That'll be interesting to see with Bill Maher after this visit. The Steve Harvey example, Patrick Bet-David just made a great point with that. Steve Harvey came back saying, look, I'm not saying I'm voting for the guy, but I'll tell you what. I remember he had some inner city community project he was really passionate about, and he thought it was just going to be a handshake with Donald Trump. But they sat down and talked, and he got Ben Carson, who was in charge of housing and urban development at the time, on the phone immediately. Trump gets stuff done, man. But we want to hear from you. What do you all think about Bill Maher's trip to the White House? What do you think about this heated debate between the PBD Podcast crew? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.